What is up, everybody? And you are very welcome along to tonight's Anfield Agenda 10-minute transfer roundup. Look, you know the drill by now. I'm going to ask you to hit the subscribe button, drop a like on the video, get yourselves over and check out our Twitch channel as well, link in the description. But most importantly, I'd love to know your thoughts on the topic I speak about tonight in the comment section. So look, 10 minutes, Anfield Agenda transfer roundup. Let's go. Right, I'm going to start off with ruling some people out. Let's start with Rafinha. I think it's at a point now where we can say Liverpool aren't really in this race anymore for Rafinha. You're probably saying, hang on, Craig, what race? You told us that our transfer business was done. Yeah, that's the line from the club. But, as you're going to find out as this video goes on, as I'm sure you already are aware, that hasn't stopped us being linked to a lot of forwards. Not really so many midfield links. There's been a couple, but the links to a right-sided forward or a forward, they're not going away. Again, more publications have run with a few names today. So that's why I'm starting to make this video, go through some names and see if we think, well, hang on, maybe we aren't finished yet. I'll give you my theory on a little bit later on, but let's start with Rafinha. So Arsenal have been interested in Rafinha. They put in an offer. It was rebuffed by Leeds. But Chelsea are now front runners, it seems, to sign Rafinha. The fee, it looks like, will be around 55, 60 million pound. Look, I know the way these things are done, it could be a bit less with some add-ons, but they're the numbers that it'll eventually rise to. And I have to say, after bringing in Darwin Nunez, I'm happy we're not in this race anymore. Barcelona wanted him, he wanted Barcelona, didn't work out for financial reasons. Again, I keep saying Barca most likely wanted him on the cheap. They at least didn't get relegated. It became kind of untenable for them. So Arsenal and Chelsea going head to head, it looks like. We know Chelsea are in the market for a wide player, so Rafinha could very well be making his way to Stamford Bridge. And I don't think it would have been good value for Liverpool to have dropped 55 million quid or whatever it is on him. So that one we can put to bed. Asensio, not going away, is it? That link is still there. All I can say is from my side, I still don't believe it to be the case. I do think that the links of Marco Asensio to AC Milan make a lot of sense for a whole host of reasons. AC Milan, of course, Champions League club, have brought in Divock Origi, are flush with some new money. But the thing that makes it most likely for me is that the thing that we heard from Asensio's side has always been he wants to go somewhere where he will play more football. And if you're coming into Liverpool to compete with Mo Salah or even any of our forwards, probably going to get limited game time this season. Whereas at AC Milan, I think it's a good fit for Asensio. And I can kind of see him in a Milan shirt, as weird as that sounds. So I think Asensio, I think he can rule that one out as well to Liverpool. But AC Milan could be a good move for Asensio if he leaves Real Madrid. The next one I want to talk about is Ousmane Dembele. And just come off our live stream over on Twitch where we discussed all this at length. And I got to say, it's the one that excites me the most of all the names I'm going to mention to you tonight, because if you can push past his injury record, and I like to kind of equate Ousmane Dembele to Joe Gomez in that he's had a lot of unlucky injuries, but he's still really young and not too many miles on the clock. Add to that the fact that he's going to leave Barcelona if he does leave. And I think he's told Xavi that in an ideal world, he'd like to stay at Barcelona, but I don't know if Barca can make those numbers add up, which may see him move on. And he's already a relatively high earner, so the question of wages and signing on bonuses and all this stuff would certainly be one where I think clubs could come in and blow us out of the water if other clubs really want Dembele. But just from a footballing perspective, he would get you up off your seat. He would make you excited. And if our fitness and strength and conditioning team and nutritionist team could get past these injury concerns, because I think his attitude stuff's been sorted out. You know, like any young man maybe who's got some success or, you know, has had some adulation, it can get to your head really quickly. So, you know, often at times you see young guys go off the rails a little bit, kind of be a bit of drama queens and stuff. I think that's all settled down with Dembele. And I've certainly seen some good work done on the defensive side of his game with Xavi, who they tended to look to him a lot more than they did the guy they brought in from Wolves, what's his name again? Adama Traore. That kind of just fell flat on its arse because he wasn't really able to fulfill the role that Dembele did. So I think he's the one I'd like, but I don't think it's realistic because I'd imagine he's got to want a comparable wage. And I think, if I'm right, He's on about £265,000 a week, I think, at Barcelona, which would immediately make him our highest paid player before he even got a wage increase. So I don't know how realistic that is. Although there have been links to him today to Liverpool from the Spanish media, but I always tell you, take the Spanish media with a massive pinch of salt, because their job is to look after the Spanish clubs, or certainly their MO is to look after the Spanish clubs' interests more than anything else on the side of these things. The next name I want to speak about is somebody who you've seen a lot, and that it won't go away. That's Serge Gnabry. The reason why I'm going to poo-poo this idea is I feel like if we wanted Gnabry, it would have been a kind of more common sense deal to make when Sadio was going in the opposite direction. Now, I know as times we as football fans like to kind of link transfers and talk about swap deals a lot. It's very rare that these things happen because, sometimes contractually there can be add-ons, loyalty bonuses, maybe sell-on clauses to other clubs, and these all play a factor into it. So they usually work out, maybe on the face of it looking like a part exchange, but usually quite separate deals. So if we wanted them, I don't see why we didn't go after him already. We brought in Darwin Nunez, and yeah, look, I wouldn't be against Gnabry. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you're getting somebody who at 26, I think, is somebody who would work in our system. Was raised up to me by one of our Anfield Agenda audience, Hannah, that she thinks Gnabry would be the best fit of all for our system. And I think he would be a good fit in our system, even if that system is a 4-2-3-1 and not a straight 4-3-3. But there's, oh God, I'm such a horrible person. There's part of me that just thinks he'll always bang of Arsenal, and he'll always have that Arsenal capitulation gene that I think people have. And look, I'm a hypocrite. I know Chamberlain, I know we signed him, and Gnabry has gone on to win a lot of stuff, but I'm just telling you how I feel. I just don't get as excited about Gnabry as I would from somebody like Dembele, who I think is just a better footballer, if I'm being really honest with you. Gnabry's been one that I've always been on the fence a bit, but I'm interested to know your thoughts on these. And then we move on to the player who I haven't brought up in any videos recently because there hasn't been any updates, and there still isn't, but I'm getting asked about it enough that I feel like I have to speak about it, and that's Jeremy Doku from Rennes. He is somebody that Liverpool have a very, very long held interest in. I think right back to when he was 16 years of age. He was brought over to be shown around Melwood at the time, and Anfield, and he was, I think, if my memory is right, I think there's a story that says Romelu Lukaku was Anderlecht asked Lukaku to have a word with him to convince him to stay for the time being and to, not move to England just yet. And that's been the case. He's at Rennes. He's had a mixed season because if you remember, he was very highly spoken of in his brief cameos for Belgium in the last Euros. And that led us to all think, is this going to be the summer where Liverpool finally go after Jeremy Doku? And I still don't think this will be the summer. I think he needs that one more season because I think there was some injuries this season that curtailed his career path a little bit. So I think it would be wise to wait one more year, see how he gets on, and then make that move for Doku, who is, of all the names we've mentioned, the one that I can really, realistically look you all in the eye and say, 100% Liverpool are interested in Jeremy Doku. I just don't know if now is the right time, but I guess time will tell. And then to pull all this video together, I hope, is the part that I alluded to at the start. I still think our business is done. You can never say never because we've moved on Minamino, and that's something I should probably bring up in this video. That was all announced today by Monaco. So well done to Taki. Thank you for your time at Liverpool. Wish you all the best at Monaco. But we've moved on Taki. We've moved on Sadio. We've moved on Divock. We've brought in Darwin. We've brought in Fabio Carvalho. We've brought in a young right back, but I'm looking at the forward side of it. So you can make an argument that one more forward would be nice, but I still feel like no decision's going to be made on who that forward might be until after the club know what Mohamed Salah's future will be. And I think we'll probably get to know that a little bit more because we know that the extension talks for himself, for Gomez, for Keita are scheduled to take place when the lads get back for pre-season at the start of next week. So hopefully the club gets some kind of vibes because if Salah's going to stay, we can probably wait a little bit. Wait for Kay Gordon, see where he progresses. If Salah's adamant that he's going to move on at the end of the season, then maybe the club are going to bring in somebody. So that's why I say, to my knowledge, we're done, but never say never in football. And I think there's been enough links to a forward that there has to be something to it. So that's where we are at the minute. I will see you guys again, same time, same place tomorrow. Do drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.